We're going to just get going here with an old instrumental called the Tennessee Blues. And I kind of had different attempts at building stuff over the years, but it wasn't until I moved here that I met Audrey Hasham and Wayne Henderson and Arthur Connor and all these guys just around this area, just tons of luthiers that build, and we're really happy to help and to have somebody enthusiastic about learning and stuff. So it just kind of took off. I just played a lot of music and got my shop set up, and I do it full time now. So. Well, years ago you find me there in overalls without a care, shooting marbles in the cinders along the rail. And every Saturday at 1 we knew the train would come. They throw candy to the kids at Tuckerdale. Oh, Virginia creeper line, you're running across the steel rails in my mind. Oh, Virginia creeper line, I'd like to hear your whistle one more time. Well, things always change, you know. They say the train's too slow, and they shut her down and pulled up all the track. And the depots are all gone, and the trestle she crossed on, and it breaks my heart to know she won't be back. Oh, Virginia creeper line, you running across the
so much. That's a song about the Virginia Creeper line that run just, well, right outside the door here a little while back. And Jackson, who was that song written by? I always forget.
Well, that was written by Dale Roten, played in a band called Rock Bottom Bluegrass, which a few of you guys out there probably know. And just an excellent song, just another song from the vast catalog of local regional tunes, and that's just kind of, I guess you consider that like a modern song. We mostly do real old stuff, yeah. But that's just kind of one of the gems around this region.
Didn't one of his bandmates hear us play that, and he was like, well, it's a bit old-timeier than I remember.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to do it. We got to play it down at Jefferson at the Fiddlers Convention, and old Butch was back there doing sound for us, and we did that Creeper line. And after we got done with it, he came up and said, well, Dale's the guy who wrote that. He's just right backstage. Yeah. And I got a little more self-conscious at that point.
One thing that I really appreciate, coming from my background in like history and stuff, he really digs into like meaningful, and I mean, that's what we'll try to present in this set here, sort of songs about this area. And a lot of what we're going to be doing in our set here is, about, stuff from about 15 miles around this area here in Lansing, and people that lived on Horse Creek. And of course, you give shout outs to people like Ola Bell Reed and things like that. And so Jackson, in his own way, even through his instrument building and through the songs he presents, it's curating sort of this history of this area, which is something that I think is really cool. So.
Once I went a-courting, I didn't know how my old gal's married, got no honey babe now. I'd rather be a sailor way out on the sea than for to be a married man with a baby on my knee. When I was single, I flirted around town. Now that I am married, carry my baby
as a queer person who plays roots music, that I was going to have to build community for me to have community. And I feel really grateful that over the past 10 years, that I can look back and tell my younger self that, like, you will find your community. And that's how I ended up in Lansing. Friends of mine, Kathy Fink and Marcy Markser, have a home here. And over the past 10, 11 years, it's really just been like proof positive that you can be whoever you are and play bluegrass music.
Justin Hiltner.
It's a song about love told through the lens of somebody who lives in the mountain. So felt like I should do it tonight. It's called I Wanted More. I wanted more, just one more week of fall before the winter cold came crashing in again. Just one more breath of sunshine cooled by mountain wind. Just one more stolen moment, me and him. I needed more. I knew I must give up it all. I could feel it in the shiver of my bones. Now I'm the man who ran away, left his only home, traded in the warmth to be alone. Now the wind will howl around these shaky rafters. Snow will fall, the icy rain will pour. You will hear me sing in springs and summers after. I wanted more. I wanted more. Been here before, and every time it rolls around, I wonder if it's worth it to begin. To start down this winding road, knowing where it ends. Somehow I just can't make myself pretend that I won't go, for this is what I'm made to do. The mountains and the stars will call my name. The seasons always change, and so they stay the same. The quiet cold will take away the pain. Now the wind will howl around these shaky rafters. Snow will fall, the icy rain will pour. You will hear me sing in springs and summers after. I wanted more. I wanted more. I don't want to say goodbye with tears in my eyes and start this lonely climb. The choice was never mine. Now the wind will howl around these shaky rafters. Snow will fall, the icy rain will pour. You will hear me sing in springs and summers after. I wanted more. I wanted more. I wanted more. I wanted more. Is a really great representation of my like priorities and my values in music, which is just like be in the moment with people in place, and create and I don't know, looking back and thinking about like, you know, being nominated for IBMA awards and, you know, having this level of, you know, critical acclaim, as it were, like, that used to be so important to me. And now the thing that's most important to me is connection and seeing and being seen and the empathy that music can establish that almost nothing else can establish. I didn't mean to miss our one chance at it. I thought another opening would come around. I didn't think my saying no would matter. I would have told you yes if I had known. I didn't mean to talk right past each other. I thought we each were hearing what we said. I always knew that there could be another. It matters now, but didn't matter then. Even though I know we're not in control, there's one thing I've been wanting to redo. I'd go back in time and ask if you'd be mine, if I could get another chance with you. I'm trying to learn to live in every moment, trying not to be wallowing in my regrets. And how you make me feel's a lovely torment. But now I'm left with what's inside my head. I've taught myself that life is one big circle. The cycle will repeat itself again. But I'm starting to lose faith in what is certain. Someday we'll get to be what could have been. Even though I know we're not in control, there's something I've been wanting to redo. I'd go back in time and ask if you'd be mine, if I could get another chance with you. Sometimes when you see a door that closes, you open it and go through anyway. Neither of us were the ones to close it. I should have knocked it down, not turned away. I didn't mean to miss our one chance at it. I thought another opening would come around. I'm trying to be patient, so I'm waiting. If there's a chance, I still may not be wrong. If there's a chance, I still may not be wrong. That's a world premiere right there.
Yeah. And Justin, like that, you know, the fact that you recorded everything here in like Lansing, that's kind of that same vibe. I love that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like so important to me to, not because I think it is validation necessarily, but just to tell the story of the lineage of music, and that like if Ola Reed had not been from here, Kathy and Marcy would have never found Lansing, and then I would have never found Lansing. And what's even more like inspiring to me about that is that like being a queer person who plays roots music and plays old time and country and bluegrass, without women like Ola Bell, I never would have had a place in roots music, because there weren't people making space for people like me until women came along and started making that space.
I got a song out of it and not much else. That's not true. I ate at a place that was called Veggies and More. It was not a vegetarian restaurant. It was so good. You
you know, macaroni and cheese is a veggie kind of a place. I've spent a lot of the last year in love with someone who doesn't know it. This is a song about that. It's called OPELIKA. Planetary dances, skinny dipping glances, laughing loud and everyone can hear. Imagination running, my stupid heart is bumping, scared to death but grinning ear to ear. Bugs and frogs singing their Alabama tune underneath an OPELIKA moon. Talking to the moon in OPELIKA. I wonder, are you talking to her too? I wish she'd whisper what you told her like the fairy tales and funny cartoons do. I'm talking to the moon in OPELIKA. Still a world away from loving you. Teach me to take chances. I'm rolling up my pants legs, worried that I might go in too deep. What do I do next if the universe says yes and this feeling ends up being one to keep? I'm thinking that I'm probably just a fool underneath an OPELIKA moon. Talking to the moon in OPELIKA. I wonder, are you talking to her too? I wish she'd whisper what you told her like the fairy tales and funny cartoons do. I'm talking to the moon in OPELIKA. Still a world away from loving you. Once again I'm stranded, too often I'm abandoned. I guess I should be used to this routine. My brain can't do delusions, but my heart jumps to conclusions that can't be based inside reality. I let you slip away from me too soon, underneath an OPELIKA moon. Talking to the moon in OPELIKA. I wonder, are you talking to her too? I wish she'd whisper what you told her like the fairy tales and funny cartoons do. I'm talking to the moon in OPELIKA. Still a world away from loving you. I'm talking to the moon in OPELIKA. Still a world away from loving you. I'm going to play you the title track from the album now. The album is called 1992, and it's not just named 1992 because that was the year I was born. It's also named 1992 because of this song, and this song is really important to me. I'm not sure there's another song like it in the history of songs, which I know is saying a lot, but I wrote this song when I realized that, like many people in my generation, we assume, queer folks my age, we think that we were born after the HIV/AIDS epidemic, but really I was born right into it. And this song was inspired by the realization that while I was being born, there was almost surely someone dying of HIV in the same exact hospital. And it's something that I want to talk about, and it's something that I want to bring up in these contexts because A, HIV is never talked about in bluegrass, but B, while we have another pandemic or two or three going on right now, we're touting HIV as a success when the HIV epidemic continues. And it doesn't just continue in certain parts of this country, especially in the South and in Appalachia. The rates of HIV, of getting HIV, of testing positive for HIV, are as high as they've ever been. And we think of it as a success. When millions and millions of people over the world have HIV, it's still stigmatized. It's becoming a straight disease because straight folks don't think that they can get HIV. And so I wrote this song not because I wanted to talk about all of these things, but because this song came out of me, and I realized that this song was asking me to talk about all of these things. And so I hope you'll think about not just HIV and not just about public health, but about the ways that we all have a role to play in public health, and we all have a role to play in making sure that our society is equitable, and making sure that people never again in the most developed country in the world, that they die alone without anyone. And I hope you'll just hold that in your heart and in your mind as you hear this song. This is called 1992. Maybe you were 1 or 2 floors down, or maybe you were 1 or 2 floors up. But on my floor, quietly, in whispers about naming me, with bright balloons and flowers in a paper cup. Maybe you had kind and loving care, or maybe they gave judging sighs and stares, while safe below or safe above, a newborn child was wrapped in love. A happy family, joyful, unaware. And while your body ached for loving touch, it ached on every level in your bones and in each breath. Abandoned by your country, by your God, and by your blood. While my father held me tight against his breast, he daydreamed of my future, while you never could admit your days were few. Were the heavens mocking both of us when they traded me for you? 'Cause I didn't die in 1992. They brought me home to gawking crowds of friends, with countless gifts and blessings, thankful prayers. You cried in anger, tossed and turned, a soul like mine forsaken, spurned. Worried at the end, no one would care. They buried you, surrounded by your friends, each one marked in marble, bleak and cheap. The raindrops fell down on your stone, while happy tears fell in my home. And your surviving chosen family softly weeps. Will you forever ache for loving touch, conditioned to the pain deep in your bones and in each breath? Abandoned by your country, by your God, and by your blood, while my mother held me tight against her breast. She daydreamed of my future,
while your kin forgot that they forsook you too. Were the heavens mocking both of us when they traded me for you? 'Cause I didn't die in 1992. We all took my life for granted, while you never could admit your days were few. Were the heavens mocking both of us when they traded me for you? 'Cause I didn't die in 1992. No, I didn't die in 1992. No, I didn't die in 1992. That was you. Thank you. When we're talking about place and we're talking about music that's connected to place, even while I'm writing new music a lot of the time, I still want it to be connected to the vernacular music of these places, because I think that's so important. And those are the art forms and the folkways that we're losing in the democratization of the internet. Like, we have to be really intentional on holding on to the ineffable of being people in these places who make music that comes from these places, because I think we take it for granted sometimes that when I'm out here and I realize that just the music that I love the most just oozes from this region, it's like, oh, like I don't have to like walk into a space and clarify who I am and what I do. Everyone just gets it. That's really special. And I think that because we view Appalachia and we view the mountains as backwards as a culture, but especially like within Westernism, we lose so much of that beauty. Yeah, and so it's really important to me to not just be like, yeah, I love playing songs from these places, I love writing new songs from these places, but I love connecting the dots between them as well, like, and telling the stories about it. Like, that's what it all is to me, really. That's what it's all about. That's the record. That's the thesis statement of the record. If you like sad gay banjo songs, I got 500 copies. I want to thank Austin. I want to thank everybody for hosting the Primavera Roadhouse. Thank you so much for having me. I've got one more. I just want to say that my favorite thing in life, really my favorite thing about music, is creating community. And I just want to thank y'all for being a community for me. Every time I've been in Lansing, it feels like home. And so every time I leave, I look forward to coming back and growing my world a little bit. And also finding in what weird ways people I already know are connected to Ashe County. So thank you for being part of that. Thank you for shrinking my world a little bit, being part of my community, and thank you so much to Austin and the Primavera Roadhouse and all the folks here, everybody in Lansing. But thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for including me as part of your Ashe County family. It means so much to me. I'm gonna leave you with a fast one, because why end sad when you can end fast and sad? Here's a song called Everglades. As I stare down at the Everglades, I wonder if I'd flood them with my tears. If I could only plummet down, I'd pace around in sorrows to my ears. And I wonder if you took a second glance up at the sky. Even if you do, I'll never wonder, but my heart won't let this die. Noah, why did I let you kiss me? Why won't my bones just shout above the din that it's time to say goodbye? Oh Noah, why won't you let me go? If you don't free my heart, you'll bleed me dry. And I'll wade through mud and rushes under darkness of the night, and I'll float off in the morning with the tide. beg the frantic waters to be still. In a boat that's set to rock and of its own accord, I don't suppose they will. Now I've got nothing left to lose as all the oceans slowly grow and rise. So if you find my message in a bottle, throw it back and let it ride. Noah, why did I let you kiss me? Why won't my bones just shout above the din that it's time to say goodbye? Oh Noah, why won't you let me go? If you don't free my heart, you'll bleed me dry. And I'll wade through mud and rushes under darkness of the night till I float off in the morning with the tide. You kiss me, why won't my bones just shout above the din that it's time to say goodbye? Oh Noah, why won't you let me go? If you don't free my heart, you'll bleed me dry. And I'll wade through mud and rushes under darkness of the night till I float off in the morning with the tide. Thank you so much.
Justin Hiltner. Come on, come on. Justin, you got one more in you, brother? One more. Here we go.
That was eloquent as I was.
Stop.
Yeah. Thank
Sometimes I get just on talking and I can't stop myself.
Oh, dude.